add in everything. And of course, it is that time.
The pick six. I love this music.
Fire
it up.
Yes, indeed. I'm fired up. Fired up, Marty. Fired up.
Fired up. Pick six. All right. Time to take a look at 6 games in the Central Florida area we will pick this week, starting with another big one. We talked about Treasure Coast. They were beaten by St. Thomas Aquinas last week. This week, they travel to Cocoa. Another tough matchup for Treasure Coast.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right there, Marty. It is a tough matchup here. This one's another tough one, especially you're coming off of a stinging loss, 42-6 against St. Thomas Aquinas. Cocoa was on their bye this past week. I mean, Cocoa technically should be 4-0. I mean, we all know we could hash that out one all day, but end of the day, this one's at home for the Tigers, Titans. I mean, this is going to be you got to figure out a way to bounce back and be able to do things here. And I just don't know, Marty, if that is going to be the case. I just don't know if Treasure Coast can bounce back on this one. Treasure Coast is a pretty good team. They're holding the number 1 seed in their district, but I mean their region and they're in Class 4S Region 3, right this second. But I like the Tigers here, Marty, in this one.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on this one. I like Cocoa. I think Cocoa is going to play for a state title again and probably should be unbeaten right now. Treasure Coast had to travel to Fort Lauderdale last week and beat pretty handily. Now they got to go up to Cocoa. Tough matchup there. I'd take Cocoa as well.
No, absolutely. And of course, actually, no, I'm sorry. Cocoa was not on the bye week. Cocoa did beat Ocala this past week, but so Cocoa's coming off a win off of Ocala. My apologies there on that one. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those right there. And looking at that, but Marty, here's another one. Here's another big one. Mandarin at Lake Mary in our North Florida Blitz. We're going to talk to Noah Schlitzkup, who dealt with did the broadcast of the Mandarin Creekside game in last week. And Mandarin is coming off a 23-22 loss to Creekside. So
right.
Mandarin's looking for something to prove here, while Lake Mary's coming off a 42-7 win over at Spruce Creek. So, I mean, this is a big one here.
Yeah, Spruce Creek, that's their first loss of the season. Lake Mary handled them, and it's a tough place to go here for Mandarin. Although Mandarin, again, they've already knocked off Bowles this season. They beat Fletcher pretty handily, as well as Sandalwood in the Jacksonville area, losing to Creekside by a point. So, I don't know. Mustangs or Rams? I'll take Mandarin on the road.
You know, I like what Lake Mary is doing. They've been putting up points. They score points in the bucket full, the sack full. I mean, I know they probably should get a Crystal sponsorship for the sack full there on that one.
Right.
But I am going with the Rams, the Lake Mary, home field advantage. I like it here. So there we go right there.
There we go. All right. There we talked about this game a little earlier. You heard University at New Smyrna Beach, 2 unbeaten teams. Something's got to give here between these two.
Something's got to give. New Smyrna Beach likes to play, tough football games. Edge it out close, and all it takes is one mistake, as Michael Osceola said. One mistake, and New Smyrna Beach will capitalize on it. And I am going with the Barracudas and John Wilkinson's team here in this one.
University coming off a 1-point win over Flagler, Palm Coast, New Smyrna Beach. Again, I mentioned that, like you said, Josh, they won their last 2 games by a combined 16-2, 8-2, and 8-0. So they can continue the baseball scores. They might be able to win, but I'm with you. I think Coach Wilkerson gets it done. New Smyrna Beach wins at home and ends University's unbeaten season.
Yeah, unbeaten. Yep. But unfortunately, somebody's got to take the L here for this week.
That's right. Now,
this one, oh boy. I mean, after what happened last week with Apopka, your role. I mean, we talked today on the Forest about this last week. Did Apopka hold out some players last week? That was the key question mark. But did anybody expect Apopka to get shut out at home at Roger Williams Field? No, not at all. This one, Marty, you're walking into a game that Seminole is riding high off of a big win at Vero Beach. You're coming in off a stinging loss, a shutout at home to Edgewater. Are the Blue Darters going to be fired up here, or is it going to be, or are they going to are they going to take what their frustrations from last week and it's going to boil over to this week and they're going to dropping a key critical district game here? That's my biggest concern. And this is at Seminole. This is at Apopka. I'd probably be like, okay, maybe a Apopka by an edge, but this is at Sanford Seminole. They're riding high after a big road win. I got to go with the Fighting Seminoles here.
Yeah, I agree. And after taking Apopka last weekend and seeing them last Friday and seeing them get shut out, I don't feel as good about doing that this week. But you're right. Playing at Sanford against Seminole, it's a tough place to go. I like Seminole as well.
No, absolutely. All right. The 100th edition of St. Cloud at Osceola is on the list. Okay, we all know Osceola has dominated this series. I get it. Okay, but we just got to put it on the list because, well, for lack of better, some of the better games around the thing. This is it's opening week for district week for a lot of teams. So here we are. So the 100th edition at St. Cloud at Osceola. Osceola's 0-5. St. Cloud's won a few games, but St. Cloud hasn't played the schedule that Osceola has.
They're going to get off the schneid, Osceola. The Cowboys with a K will get their first win of the season. They
get off the schneid.
They beat St. Cloud in the rivalry game at home. They'll get their first win and break that 0-5 streak.
I'm going with you there, Marty, on that one. Osceola, I think this one is going to be a big one here. I think they're going to get off the schneid, as you said. So there's that for you right there. I think that's the case here. In our last game here in the Pick 6, Marty. First Academy, who is 4-1, Orlando Christian Prep 5-0, coming off a big 22-21 win at Union County here. I mean, OCP is just looking good, and they're the number 1 seed right now, holding in their region.
I did not expect OCP to win that game in Union County, honestly, and that was a big win for them by 1 point. First Academy having a nice year, but right now out of the postseason, I believe, as it is. So
yes, they are.
Yeah.
But look at the schedule they played. It's some not very good teams, and of course their latest win was a 56-0 win over Bronson,
who's really struggling this year. But I would take Orlando Christian Prep, though. I like them. I like OCP. I think at home they're rolling. Give them a win at home against this First Academy of Orlando.
I'm with you. I'm gonna go OCP as well because I just like the fact that this is it's a home game for them.
The music gone?
The music gone. Yeah, the music ran out on me. but it's definitely one of those there, Marty. And I think that's
taking OCP.
I'm taking OCP on that one here. So I mean, to be honest with you.